Hey, local swell trackers, Saturday the 10th, I'm back. 3 weeks with a virus, still recuperating, but I've drummed up the strength and discipline here to get this going again in the new year for you. So thank you so much for your patience. This is the scenario last Tuesday. This big fetch here to the north of us brought waves up to 15 feet from the north-northwest outside sunset. And that's the last big warning level swell from this particular angle. As we move the animations, you'll now see we get a series of more west and northwest swell. So let's take a look. This is the first guy right here, pumping us up to 6 to 8, occasional 10 out there at sunset, and even pipeline today for the Dahui shootout final, and it's going off all day. Though variable winds have mushed out the leeward side, pipe has stayed offshore. It's been really epic. So I'm just going to rewind that and just show you. This guy right here had some, 25-foot seas. It was crossing the date line, got close enough to it for a really beautiful finish here and great waves this weekend. A whole new angle and the conditions much cleaner than we've seen as of late. Okay, we'll continue forward. That particular storm fades, and then we get a large gyra that spawns about 3 storms, and I will get to the current models next to show you what happens here. But that thing's filling up the entire west and central pack, and will be leading to an ongoing series of above advisory level swell. Okay, so here we go. Now we are at Saturday, January 10th. Here's the first system that forms within the large gyra. It's got a decent amount of west. It's got a captured fetch. This guy gets really close to us and actually passes us to the north. This guy will bump up the buoys 9 feet of swell at 15 seconds from the northwest by about 8 p.m. on Monday night. Peak at 10 feet 14 seconds from 320 degrees or northwest on Tuesday the 13th. What 10 feet 14 seconds equates to is at least 10 feet Hawaiian scale or 18-foot faces. Probably see some 20-foot faces out of this guy here. And because of its fast east track to the north of us, the direction will start northwest and end up north-northwest. Now, forwarding the animations a little bit more within that gyra, this one's super west. And again, with a beautiful captured fetch, it does fade out, but it does cross the date line and gets its energy closer to the islands. This particular fetch will be bumping us up on Thursday the 15th into Friday and even Saturday. Should peak out at about 10 feet, 15 seconds of open ocean swell, and that one should reach near 8 to 12 feet for the top zones like Pipeline and Sunset Beach. Now, this guy here that formed to the north of us will add in some, probably 5 to 7 foot north-northwest, adding to this extreme west. How much shadowing is going to happen is hard to predict. So I may be overcalling it by saying 12 feet, but for sure 10 feet. And mark your calendars for Thursday the 15th and Friday the 16th. It will still be sticking around on Saturday with plenty of advisory level swell. So you can see there's a vast area of storminess keeping us active. We get a soft fetch here, the lighter gale. You can see the colors are not as deep, meaning the seas are not as high, but it is very close to us, within 800 miles away. Now this is showing features the middle of the month, Thursday the 15th. This should allow a reinforcement, adding to the prior swell with some shorter period, but at least keeping us in that solid 8-foot range from Friday, Saturday, and possibly into Sunday. Starting in the animations, you can see after that, the models here go out only about 8 days from WaveWatch. Let me use the global forecasting system weather surface analysis, and I'll show you what's coming after this. Okay, so here we are, surface winds, Monday the 19th. Here we are sitting here at about 20 north. Here's the big spinner off here, approximately at the date line. And as we inch this thing forward, you can see it's a whomper swell that tracks up to the northeast. This will have a wide, broad, beautiful fetch for us. Currently, this is hinting at 18-second forerunners, Tuesday night, the 20th, peaking 10-foot swells, 15 seconds on Wednesday, the 21st, and even hovering 9 feet, 14 seconds on Thursday. What this will equate to is at least 8 to 12-foot surf here, again, around Wednesday, Thursday, the 21st, 22nd. Since this is long range, the confidence level is less. If we start in the animations again, you can see another very powerful storm coming. And so it looks like about 3 days later, we could have another round of 8 to 12 plus northwest swell. And that'd be as we head towards the end of January. What a winter in paradise. Alrighty, let's take a look at the jet stream. Take a look. It's at about 35 degrees north latitude. It stretches all the way. It does dip down on top of us, cutting off our trade wind flow. There is a high that's far to the northeast. It is weakened by all these storms that have pushed it and weakened it off to the northeast. We still have seen trade winds with an easterly flow today, so it's been really good. But this long consolidated jet is exactly what we like to see. It's the active phase of the Madden-Julian oscillation, or MJO, and typically that does feed a stronger jet with higher winds, and there are some pockets of 200 knots in that large upper scale wind flow that's about 30,000 feet up. And again, these guys will enhance the formation of surface low pressures or storms and steer them once they are formed. And take a look, the whole way through it stays really strong. Then it does get a split here on Friday the 16th, but the jet again consolidates off of Japan for yet another round of really strong waves. Okay, now we're going to go down under. Tuesday, January 6th, we see a slight little fetch off to the east of New Zealand here. And it's been keeping town rideable, actually. It really hasn't been that bad. There's been a few little minor fetches. All in all, it's zonal. Things are not conducive to much storm formation, but it's their austral summer, so we would expect this. However, we do have some good news. Let me get to the current models. I just wanted to do a little hindcasting there for you. All right, so take a look. Right here we have a storm to the northeast of New Zealand, and it's strong enough and spins enough and could send up some 2-foot background swell to keep us from going Mill Pond flat. We're expecting this one to reach us, let's say about Thursday, midday, especially by Friday the 16th, and lasting into this weekend, Saturday the 17th, a week from today actually, and that should be able to bring us some 2-footers. And then the typical summer source southeast of New Zealand, we have a decent storm moving to the northeast. It's a decent direction too. It's a slight captured fetch, and this one, although it's not a strong storm, should pump us up with some 16 seconds on Monday the 19th, lasting into Thursday the 20th, and we even have another round of swell to keep, again, town active. Right there, we get a slight little reinforcement for the 22nd. And we'll probably see some chest-high waves as we, again, head to the 20th, 21st of this month. If you want to mark your calendars or just check the 10-day forecast at surfnewsnetwork.com. That's a premium service. We offer the 5-day for free, and that's informative too. But if you want to go long range, we would appreciate you signing up. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the surface charts. Here's the high pressure that's been weakened and pushed off to the northeast by all the low pressures that I was showing you recently. And this ridge is extending over the islands, has cut the trades. They're light enough for sea breeze along the leeward shoreline. Up there at Pipeline and Sunset, it has stayed good most of the day. We don't know if this will happen for Sunday, but the regular trades are out of here through the middle of next week and even more. There's a couple fronts that'll be nearing the islands, one Monday and then one towards the end of next week too. And we are potentially leading into Kona winds on Wednesday, and they could be strong for Kauai, depending on how close that front nears. So we get the Kona winds ahead of a front, and then those cold north winds post frontal passage, and we may see a little bit of that the second half of the week. But here's the scenario. Definitely looks like winter. And now we jump up to the upper regions, the water vapor loops showing features 20,000 feet up, and you can see the brown areas. That's the dry, sinking, stable air masses. And there's the storm activity always spinning counterclockwise in the north hemisphere. A little bit of disturbance off here to our east, but not affecting us. And that's why, though we might see cloud buildup, it is overall very stable, beautiful, and dry weather for Hawaii, and especially beautiful in the morning hours. And here's just another prettier way of looking at it. You can see the little cloud puffs down below, but they're all pretty much steady because those are just forming due to the sea breezes, especially in the interior sections. This gives you a little bit of clearer shot here of this front that's moving towards us here for, say, about Monday. It could possibly be out of here by the time it reaches Kauai. And again, you can see there's not really that typical, east-northeast flow towards the islands that keeps the air a little cooler. So it's definitely hot and sunny with extreme UVs, and hope you have your Bullfrog sunblock. And we'll bring it down. As we drill down, we'll tell you highs are going to be about 80 and the lows to 65, so really chilly at night. And you do see a slight little trade wind flow here, and that is thanks to what effort that weak high pressure to the northeast is able to contribute to this pattern. It's been really good for pipeline, I'll tell you. The waves are just all time. And you can see here, no rain activity whatsoever. Maybe a few little sprinkles upwind Mauka and off to the leeward side. But it's just a really gorgeous day in paradise. And we'll finish up here. The wind model showing that beautiful fetch here to our northwest. That little fetch to the northeast of New Zealand, bringing us up some south swell. The intertropical convergence zone here where the trades from the North Pac meet the trades from the South Pac. And we're looking good to be cranking for the North Shore, long haul, and town. If you like the smaller stuff, you don't have to take the trek to ride something. We've got plenty of waves on the way. And that's your local swell tracker. I'll have the next one on Monday the 19th for you. Aloha.